Well, hello everybody, I'm Dr. Glenn Harrison and welcome to this week's segment of Why. This is where we take just a few minutes to answer some of the most common health-related questions that we see in our office every day. So the question is really maybe to answer some questions for people that are looking for a clinic or even if they come to our clinic. In our clinic, we see a lot of chronic degenerative conditions, slow degenerative conditions that happens over time, could be multiple years, could be decades. I've seen that, 30 plus years, where people are dealing with these conditions. And we have two models in our office. We have program models and we have individual appointments. And I just wanted to give some insight, whether you're at our office or another clinic, and looking at different models. So the program type setting, we don't necessarily recommend it to everybody, but there are some benefits to it. When people are dealing with these conditions, the program type setting where everything is included and there's no surprises and they know what's involved and they always have guidance tend to be very helpful, because these chronic slow degenerative conditions require significant, and I'm going to say this again, significant lifestyle changes. And if you are going to make those changes, there has to be little steps of change that are sustainable, that you can forge habits in, and it doesn't turn your life upside down, because most of these changes are required for life. A program type setting that has a series of appointments is much easier to implement these steps and make sure we're stepping in the right direction. So that's one benefit of a program or a wellness program type setting. Another thing is it allows for education. There's ample time to educate our clients. If our clients know how to take care of themselves, they don't require us anymore. So we don't usually work with people for long term, because we give them the tools. So the education prevents them from depending on us or hopefully any other doctors in the future. And health independence is, true health is health independence. So that's another thing that a program type setting can be very beneficial with. Also accountability. We all need it, even myself. The same reason why many people go to personal trainers and have coaches and consultants and counselors, because these individuals, they hold them accountable for the changes they need to make, all these different steps. And with a program type setting, when someone comes in and they know they're going to be seeing Dr. Harrison just in a few days or in a week, and it's on the calendar and they're scheduled, and we implement the next step for them, naturally, they're much more successful in implementing it. So the accountability is a big piece, and it helps our clients. Another thing is doctor accessibility. And I'm not going to speak for every clinic out there by no means with a program or a wellness program type setting, but when people are working in our office, they always have access to it. It takes big shoes to fill, and we don't take that many clients on because of that, but it's a game changer. When people have been prescribed a supplement or a food removal or something like that, and they have a problem with it, some lifestyle change, there's a problem with it, they don't have to wait for another appointment. They can call us up, email us, do whatever they want, and immediately, unless I'm out of the country or out of the state, give me a few hours, but I'll get back to them and we can make changes in real time. It does two things. It keeps people on track, and we're able to make changes in real time, so they get results much faster than having to wait 5, 6, 7, who knows how many days till their next appointment. So having doctor access all the time is another helpful thing with a program type setting. Individual appointments really don't allow for that, because if I've seen someone 3 months ago, it's going to be hard for me to get back to them if I don't know their case and I don't know what's going on and I don't know if they're ever going to come back in the office. So there's a few benefits. There's some significant benefits with a program type setting. Now, individual appointments have its benefits as well. There's some flexibility, there's less accountability, which also has a problem with that, because these lifestyle changes require accountability. But a few things, if with an individual setting, most people have to, if there's a problem with something that was implemented, they have to make an appointment. Naturally, there's a fee associated with every appointment, so they don't get that support, and then they have to wait, and naturally they don't get the results as fast as they want or they desire. Also, another thing is with any disorder, a symptom is the last thing to show up. The pain or the discomfort or whatever, the dysfunction happens and then the symptom finally shows up. So when people are on individual appointments, they're coming in as they want, whenever they feel they need, and they get out of symptoms, naturally, in many cases, they just stop coming in, even if they're recommended to come in a few more times, and they don't get any more care. but the dysfunction still goes on. They haven't got past they just got past the symptom stage, and they haven't improved their health and got out of it far enough, and then what happens is the symptom comes back. So they prematurely stop their appointments just because of, it's not a program, so there's flexibility and all of that. So that can be a problem. Also, the appointments with individual appointments, there isn't all that, the doctors and the clinics aren't able to provide all that support between appointments because they don't know when they're going to come in again. So there's less time and less opportunity to educate their clients on how to take care of themselves. If someone doesn't care for the education and health independence, well, naturally, maybe that's not necessarily for them, but most people do. Most people don't want to have to go to the clinic or the doctor's office. They want to be able to take care of it themselves. And then another thing, of course, if you don't have a commitment to come in, naturally, there's less accountability. If there's less accountability to implement the lifestyle piece that you needed to implement, there's going to be less compliance. If there's less compliance to implement that piece, there's less success, and outcomes tend to be worse. We get a lot of people, and I'm not saying that there's bad clinics around, but we get a lot of people that have been in an appointment type setting with clinics all around the country, and they did pretty darn good. They felt pretty good, but they never completely got out of their symptoms or never got to where they needed to be and where they wanted to be, got the outcomes they wanted. But then when they slid in and we started to talk about a program, a wellness program, instead of individual appointments to see if it's right for them, they wanted it, and that was a game changer. They were able to achieve a new level of health where they couldn't before. So a program type setting has its benefits. We don't recommend necessarily prescribe it for everybody. Some people, individual appointments are a better fit for them, but again, everybody's different. And then there's another thing with an individual appointment. People have these chronic degenerative conditions. One appointment doesn't fix them, never does. And one lab doesn't, or one supplement doesn't. So there's always a financial surprise when they go to the doctor's office. They don't know what to expect. But in a program, the way we do, we put everything in it. So they know what it's going to take to get from point A all the way to finish line. So I hope that answers some questions of people looking around for clinics and looking at different opportunities or different strategies, because every clinic does it different. That's a little bit how we do it. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, by all means, reach out, comment, send us a message. And I look forward to talking to you next day where we're going to answer the why to another health-related question. Have a great day.